everybody, this is a Chelsea side that has welcomed 10 new faces over the summer, spending $450 million. Some notable summer signings: Xabi Alonso coming in as head coach, also Morgan Rogers coming from Aston Villa for $157 million. He became the most expensive English player, and the list seems to go on, boys. But why don't we start about talking Xabi Alonso, coming off Real Madrid's season last year. How much of an impact do you think he'll have at Chelsea, Troy?
I think that's the big question, right? I think the one thing that goes in his favour is that ultimately one game a week, he gets the one thing that all coaches want: more time on the training field, more time to implement his style, his philosophy, all of that fun stuff. But I think the big issue now is reducing and condensing that squad. They've got a massive squad at the moment.
47.
Yeah, so he's got...
At the last time I've counted.
What's the typical number for a squad in the Premier League?
25, 26.
And they've got 47?
Yeah, 25,
so how
26.
come they're allowed to have that many?
You can have as many as you want. You just don't register. You can only register 25 players. And obviously you get a few more with the homegrown as well. So some will fall under that from the youth team. But I just think they should have a much better year. I think for Xabi Alonso, he won't actually get the credit as well that they deserve, even if they were to finish third. Everyone will go, oh, it's a bit like Michael Carrick. Oh, it's only because they played one game a week. I think the real test of these top managers is when they're having to go European competitions, deep in a Carabao Cup run, an FA Cup run. But I think for right now, where Chelsea are at, a real lack of identity, a real lack of where they're going as a club. I think him coming in and bringing in the likes of Danny Welbeck, Jordan Henderson to shape and mould this group, I think is a real positive step for them.
I think you cannot underestimate what a seismic change this is. To go from buying youngsters, giving them 8- and 9-year contracts, to bringing two wise old heads like Danny Welbeck and Jordan Henderson. And also, let's be clear about Danny Welbeck. This is not some sort of charity job. This is not somebody coming in because he did well for Brighton last season. This is respecting top-class pro who's had a great career. He's having a fantastic autumn of his career, and it's what he can bring to the squad. And there's no question Xabi Alonso has sat down with the Chelsea ownership, who are a group of people who have very strong opinions about how a club should be run, and they do it very differently to any other club. We've never seen anything like it in English football. And he said, no, for this squad to be successful, you need some experience around the place. And he's identified these two players here as to what they can bring. And they won't just be, you know, Jordan Henderson will expect to play. These aren't just jolly-up merchants. It's what they
Jordan shouldn't expect to play.
What, not at all?
No.
What, not one game?
He should be exactly what he was for the World Cup with England.
Yeah,
which is, he'll come into games, but be great around the place, organise it, teach some of these younger players what it's like to be a pro and play at the... No, respectfully to Jordan, obviously he's done fantastic. All that time at Liverpool, winning everything that he won there. I think at this moment of his career, he's understood the assignment, which is, OK, probably not going to play, but I'm still going to train the best. I'm still going to show these kids how it is. Probably learning himself from a coaching point of view now, having some extra bits in terms of the managers that he's worked with. But I don't think Jordan should be expecting to play. I think Welbs will expect to play.
I think Jordan Henderson as well, though, is the type of character, there'll be a part of him that won't accept not playing, and he'll be pushing as much as possible.
100%.
Pushing to play.
Yeah. Because that's his mentality, because he's that type of pro.
He just needs to make sure when they score, he stays seated and not go down by the advertising hoardings.
Oh, you
But I think it's I think it's good. I think it's a good, clear shift.
It's a big change.
You can look at it from two ways, right? It's either a real good shift that they've listened to what ex-pros, ex-managers, everyone's really been saying, or you can say it's not good because they've been influenced by what everybody else has been saying. They've come away from their model.
No, that's a little bit unfair, because it's like...
They didn't do it last year.
No.
They didn't do it the year before.
No, so they clearly... and they finished 10th.
No,
so
but that's the point.
They're doing something
But they
wrong.
won the Club World Cup. They won the Europa League, or the Europa Conference League, sorry.
Yeah,
but the fact that they finished 10th is not acceptable for Chelsea and their outlay. So they've obviously sat down, and also when they've interviewed Xabi Alonso, they've said to him, what do you think? You know, and it's the meeting of minds. It's not like, OK, the manager says, this is what I'm going to do, and the club says, I'm going to do this. You meet in the middle, don't you?
And look, even though they've brought in Welbeck and Henderson, who are well into their 30s, their average age on the squad is still 23. So it's not like they've gone from one extreme to the other. They've kind of met in the middle, I guess.
They've just dropped a little bit of a sprinkle of experience.
Too many red cards, too much ill discipline.
Yeah.
So their experience can come in.
And also, off the field stuff with like Wesley Fofana with the driving and all of that stuff. So these are where these two guys come in, and their experience will be, and including the manager.
They're going to drive him to training?
No, they're also going to be like,
Give me a lift.
What you need to do is this. It's a bit like when you keep messing up the read. That's why we've got Geoff here, just to teach you how to do it and what to do, It's kind of what happens.
How has that been put on me?
Anyway, just going back to Chelsea, I think...
So I'm Henderson and she's Esteval.
Yeah, exactly. you wish.
And he actually gives me a lift into work.
There you go. I think Lacroix is a very good signing. Again, I think he's 26, French international, obviously played in the World Cup, but has played a lot and been a key figure for Palace. So he's used to being an organiser and making sure things are. But the biggest thing with him is he's very rarely injured. A lot of Chelsea's problems have come down to the amount of injuries they got. And then Palestra as well is a top player that they've brought in from Italian football. So I think they've got all of the makings of being a really good team. I wonder whether they can figure out that left-hand side. I know they brought in Morgan Rogers, and he can play on the left. As a Villa fan, you see he plays better as a 10. So he wants to play as a 10. Cole Palmer wants to play as a 10. João Pedro wants to play as a 10.
Yeah, who's going to do it?
Like, who are we giving the team to in that regard? So there's a few things still to work out.
Well, Geoff, they spent $450 million. So why don't you grade...
450 million?
450 million. Why is that funny?
450
Yeah, I meant to say 450.
Okay.
450.
Geoff, tell her how to do it.
Look, it's pre-season.
They've spent $450 million.
Yes.
Geoff, you want to grade them?
Oh, sorry.
And remember, we're in America, so we have to do A through F.
Okay.
No ease.
No ease.
Xabi Alonso, I'm going to give an A to.
Okay.
Because despite the blip at Real Madrid, but that is a club that has eaten up many a good coach, I'm going to give an A to because I've got great faith in him. I just think he's a class act as a player. We've seen he's a class act as a manager. Look what he did in Germany with one of the smaller teams. Well, basically with not Bayern Munich. So absolutely amazing. I'm really hot on Chelsea this season. I really think they are going to make huge strides. I think Tottenham might gain more places, but only because they're starting further back, but theirs might be more impressive. Morgan Rogers, A for me, because he's a top-class player. Lacroix, he's a B+. Palestra, you talked about him, you didn't mention his pace. This boy is an absolute flying machine. He can catch pigeons. He's ridiculous. Now, him on that left-hand side, he is just frightening. I like him. Barco, this is going to be interesting, isn't it? How
Are you going to actually rate Palestra, or are you going to talk about him?
Oh, I'm giving him a B. He's a B all day long, because he's an adaptation period. Barco, I don't know too much about, if I'm brutally honest. Danny Welbeck, I'm going a solid B as well, because if he can just bring 2/3 of the goals he scored for Brighton last season, then plus his influence around the place. So there's not a single C there for me. I think they're really, really good signings, and it's bubbling under nicely. For me, this is under Todd Bowley's ownership. This is Chelsea Mark II. This is a reset.
I think Barco is probably a B. I'd move Palestra up to an A-. I think the fact he can play on both sides with the pace, he's been fantastic in pre-season. So there's a few that I'd go a bit higher on, and a couple I'd go a bit lower on.
So overall grade?
A-.
A-.
Yeah.
For me. Been really good.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie A, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.